good morning. I will introduce myself. My name is Maria Deltijania. You can call me Delti. NPM 220 1032 0060. Okay, I will to explain the material, reference, and inference in English pragmatcis. Referencing the relationship between words and objects. The word reference book point to bound papers to be written or read. In line with that statement, argues that traditionally, reference is a relationship between words and things, but rather as a language with the word. There are also those who state that a reference is the relationship of language to the word regardless of the language user. The statement is considered unsuitable because the reference of the language he is saying. Reference is one type of grammatical chosen or in the form of a certain language unit that refers to other language units or a reference that obeys or follows it. According to Ramalan, what is meant by reference designation is the use of words or pairs to designate or reference to a word, pairs, or phrase other grammatical unit. Thus, in the apportionment, there are two elements, namely the indicating element and the designate element. Both do not have to refer to the same reference. References have several types including reference based on the place of reference. Sumarlam further emphasized that based on the place. Further, and reference is divided into two types. One, inference reference. This reference, if the reference or reference unit is in the text, and endophora is divided into endophora and cataphora based on the possession or distribution of the preference reference. Endophora is a tool in language to make cross references to things or words that have been stated previously. The tools can be in the form of personal pronouns such as he, they, conjunction, and verb of time, tools, and events. Example: Mr. Mestucci got a job. Even so, she got a diploma 2 years ago. In the words, he endophora with Mestucci. Cataphora is a device in language that refers to saying with the accident behind it. Example: after he entered, Tony immediately had his sister. One interpretation of the sentence above is that he refers to Tony, although there are other possible interpretations. The symptom of using pronominals like him, which refers to Tony's accident, which is to this right, is called cataphora. Reference. Extrapolar reference. If the reference is or is outside the text of the conversation. Example: my car ran out of gas. He filled it up. Reference based on language unit type. Holiday and Hansen in Harsono divide reference into three types, namely 1. Personal preference, 2. Demonstrative reference, and 3. Comparative reference. Personal reference. Personal reference covers the three classes of personal pronouns, namely personal pronoun 1, personal pronoun 3, and personal pronoun 2, including the singular and the plural. Personal references are realized through personal pronouns. Personal pronouns are personals that are used to refer to people. Personal pronouns can refer to oneself. First personal pronouns refer to the personal being spoken to. Second personal pronouns or refers to the personal being spoken of. Third personal pronouns. Person, the singular first person in Indonesian is me. Me and I. Personal pronouns I have chance in the form you and your. The use of the first person singular can be seen in following sentence. Example, if for my sister, I made it as beautiful as possible. I don't know about the accident this morning. Demonstrative reference according to Krederson. Demonstrative is a tip that serves to show something attendance inside and outside the conversation. Utterance. From the point of view of from, it can be distinguished between 1. Basic demonstrative set and such. 2. Derived demonstrative such as this, so. 3. Compound demonstrative such as here, there, this and that, here and tree. There are 4 kinds of demonstrative pronouns is Indonesian, namely 1. General demonstrative pronouns such and such, referring to starting point close to the other, to the future, or referring to information conveyed by the other. 2. Pronouns including place. These pronouns are based on different speaker, near here, a bit far away, and far away. 3. Pronouns indicating about the difference between the starting points is the same as that for near, far away, and both. And 4 is designation of the adverb whose starting point is located at the place of the accident that is referred to the back and following to the forward. The general understanding of infrence is the process that the reader, listener, must do to go through the letter meaning of what is written, spoken to what the reader speaker wants. Inference occurs if the process that must be carried out by the listener or reader to understand the meaning that is literally not contained in the speech expressed by the speaker or writer. Listeners or readers are required to be able to understand the information of the speaker or writer based on the expression and context of its use. In making inferences, it is necessary to consider implicators. Implicator is an indirect meaning or implied meaning caused by what is said. Explicitor, to draw a conclusion. Inference, we need to know the types of inference among others. Live inference. Infrence, in which the constellation is drawn from only one premise, the proposition used to draw the constellation. The constellation drawn should not be wider than the premise. Example: Mom, tomorrow is my friend's birthday. I was invited to dinner, but I don't have new clothes. No gifts yet. Then the inference of the pairs that cannot go to his damn birthday. Thank you.